This episode of Fragbox TV is brought to you by
the world's most beautiful nano reef tanks. Start your reefing adventure at reefcasa.com.
What is up? My reefing fam, March here. This is Fragbox TV. Welcome back to the channel. This is, what is this? This is a vlog that follows our never-ending and crazy changing store here in Toronto. It has everything to do with these saltwater aquariums. It's a little bit of fun, education, entertainment. Boom! What is happening in our flat 6 gallon? Looks like fart. It looks really bad. We started pulling everything out because you know what? We're gonna rescape it. I made a mistake. I made a big mistake and I've learned my lesson, and I feel like I've learned this lesson before, but sometimes in life we need to learn things twice. At least that is my experience. I added a coral that I knew that it grew quick. I just didn't know that it grew this quick. So there's a couple things left in this tank. If you want our beautiful pair of clowns, I'm going to tell you in a second what never to add to your tank. These clowns are available and are very friendly. We have this little neon goby. Let's see if he does it. I put my hand in and he'll just come right away. Oh, look at that. He's hanging out on my fingers. Where'd he go? Hello. Isn't that cute? He's like cleaning my hand. Every time you put your hand in, he just comes and greets you. What a funny little fish. He's on this like, oh, look at that. Okay, hand caught. Anyways, everything's coming out. We're going to redo it. I'm going to talk to you in a second about that crazy plan. Do never not. That's not English. That's not how we speak. Don't ever put this, or at least I'm never going to put it. You do whatever you want. It's your aquarium. But if you want some of my advice, don't put this. What is this? I'm going to give you about 10 seconds to guess it right. All the kids out there, all the boys and girls screaming, Xenia! Oh, pulsing Xenia! Yeah, close! Wrong. Go back to coral school. Very close. Very good guess. Very similar. This is in fact Anthelia. It's sort of like Xenia's long tentacle cousin, and this is a really cool one because if you see, look right in the center of your screen, what's it doing? Pulsing Anthelia. And it's not that common. It was pulsing a lot more. Now it's kind of lazy, kind of half fart pulsing there. It's not really doing its job. So this is the long tentacle cousin of Xenia. A little bit naive of me to think that it wouldn't take over. It just took over this entire rock. I've since pulled most of the corals out and sold them. You guys may have seen on the site that for the last couple of days we kept posting, you know, the anemone from our display tank and the golden hammer from our display tank, and all the little pieces were up for sale. And it was really because of this. I just couldn't manage it anymore. I kept plucking it away with tweezers and it would just make its appearance. It just kept coming back. I have the same issue right here on the overflow of this tank. So I don't know how it does it, but I scrape it to nothing and then it just comes right back. So I'm going to do it this time with some peroxide, and I'm going to drain the tank an inch. So you can see right there it's on the overflow. I'm going to drain it. I'm going to scrub it with some hydrogen peroxide. I'm going to leave it dry for like 4 or 5 hours and then see if it doesn't come back. My theory is that it's surviving, like microscopic pieces are surviving here in the overflow while it's wet, and it's coming back to life. It's like a zombie coral. Like I literally take a wire brush and scrub it and it's back. So thankfully it's not on any of the rock. It's just sort of isolated to that one piece there. I actually just had a leather coral, huge blue pineapple tree like this one, melt suddenly overnight, like from a big coral to absolutely nothing. But maybe I'll talk about that in another video. I think it was due to mixing salt too quickly and adding it to the system without really giving it time to mix, because that's the only thing I did from last night to tonight, and that thing's gone. Anyways, this is all going to come out, and I want to do something new. This is our single most popular tank, our Reef Casa flat 6 gallon tank right now. It doesn't look very nice, but it will, because I have this whole new idea, and this surpasses the sale of all our other tanks, this flat series, I think, for a number of reasons. One, it's just completely different than any other all-in-one aquarium on the market. Like, you can find sort of these types of tanks from other companies, sort of a traditional style tank, cube tanks, larger tanks, but this super shallow design, we are really the first. We're pioneering with this, and I have this idea of creating a tide pool tank, and if it goes well, I'm going to create a whole new aquarium series based around that design. So what it's going to be inspired by is, let me show you actually. I go on a vacation or trip. I love spending time on the beach. Type in tide pool, and I get lost in these tide pools. You can find so much life in them. Try and find a good example. That's a crazy one. Look at all those. Like this. I don't know if you've ever experienced how much life. There's fish, there's crabs, there's shrimp, there's anemones. I was spending like over half an hour in one in Portugal when I was just there, and I was just trying to catch this camel shrimp that I had found. So I'm just fascinated by these things, how so much life can be contained in like this one little pool of water. And looking down at them, it just reminds me a lot of our flat tank. So I don't know if you guys have ever done anything like this. Comment below if you know what I'm talking about. Just kind of like exploring the tide pools of any sort of area. So I want to take that idea and then apply it to this tank and turn this into sort of our own little tide pool. The first step, I think, would be to make like a custom rock work that I want to engulf. Is that the word? I want to cover these three sides here, but not block the overflow. So I'm talking to a guy in the States that has some really cool rocks that he's making. We're going to prototype some of that. I'm going to try making some of my own. I would love to have like a finished, man, words escape me sometimes. I want like a rock that would wrap around and kind of like the traditional rock walls that you find in kind of old ugly aquariums, but cooler, and have it kind of slope off into here to really create that tide pool effect, have some of the rock come out of the water because I'm obsessed with keeping fiddler crabs, and then everything would be kind of contained in here. We can maybe even hide the plumbing and the flow so that it'll go down maybe through here, and then, oh, I just got a crazy idea. What if it comes up and over instead of coming through there? What if it like waterfalls down the rock and I do some custom plumbing through the back of here, but hide it, you know, in a rock wall? I'm just like doing things that are different. So that's going to be the plan behind this. If it works, if there's demand, if you guys love it, we're going to call it the Tide, T-I-D-E, because I'm obsessed with four-letter words. If you've seen some of the other products we have, this one is called the Villa, this one is Flat, and then we have actually a new one coming on the way, Isla. I don't know why. Something about four-letter words. Just do it for me. This guy just happened to email me last week seeing if there was any interest in this. That's why I always tell you guys, I don't believe in coincidence. I think there is some divine power and divine timing that's going on, because as soon as I start thinking about it, someone emails me and says, hey, would you be interested in exactly what I'm looking for? And something like this. It's not quite there, but this sort of idea, I don't know how he's making them, but they look super cool. So I want to wrap all the sides. Look at that, how he has the overflow. You can see right where my cursor is. You see the return. So the rock would hide all the panes of glass except the front one. And we've just been talking on WhatsApp, and he's making one for us now. Something like that. We're getting there. We're getting there. The concept's there. So if you guys think that's cool, give me a thumbs up. Give me some ideas, because I could use them. What I kind of do when I design stuff is I start. You know, I always try and, I remember what Tidal Gardens told me, the best type of perfect is done. So I have sort of a vague plan in my head, and then I just kind of jump into it and then design as I go and how it feels. I would love, like I said, to sell something that's already complete where you just drop the rock into the tank and it's done. I don't know how we're going to be able to ship something like that unless it's three sides that sort of lock together. I can foresee a lot of issues with the rock breaking, and I just don't know if that's going to work. So what I may be leaning towards, unless this guy Gabriel comes up with a solution, or maybe someone else out there has a solution, is including the rocks like this, like grabbing all these little pieces of rubble and shipping to, if someone wants it, I would basically just ship you enough of this and you kind of make it on your own, and it will become more of a kit and a project so that no two tanks would be alike. Every single tank is going to be different because it's sold to you for you to do it. So it would be a little bit more interactive. It'd almost be closer to like a puzzle, but then at the end of the puzzle, you're going to end up with a cool tide pool tank. We're still super early into this idea. Like I said, this tank's got to come down first. I guess I'll leave the sand unless we end up doing black Hawaiian sand for some reason. The contrast might be nice. But other than that, don't add Anthelia to your tank. This entire video feels like a one big sidetrack. I mean, if I sold it to you in the past, I apologize. I deeply, deeply regret ever selling this to someone. I'm not a fan of this coral anymore. I mean, it's beautiful. Don't put it in your tank. There's so many other nice ones. It's just able to grow from. This is a truly invasive species, and you will not see it here at Fragbox anymore. We don't have to sell every single coral out there. I want to incorporate more macro as well into this tide pool design. Okay, that's it. We're going to wrap it up. I hope you enjoyed it. Give us a thumbs up, subscribe, and we'll see you guys back here on the next episode of Fragbox TV. Bye for now.